Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everybody. This week we are going to be making some personalised wooden Christmas Eve boxes. I love Christmas Eve. I think it's all about making memories, being cozy, and I did a Christmas Eve box video like a couple of years ago, but I wanted to make a box for my niece and my nephew, and I wanted them to have something that would be like a little memory box each year for years to come. I'm going to get straight into the video. Here is how I made the Christmas Eve boxes, and afterwards I'll share with you some ideas on what you can put inside your Christmas Eve box. In this video, I'm going to be making two boxes, one for my niece Lily and one for my nephew Jack. I picked up these wooden craft boxes off Amazon. However, I did notice that the price increased when I did go to get a link for these, so I will put a link to the ones I got, but do shop around and try and get them cheaper. I gave the boxes a coat of white paint. This is Cherished White and this is a satin. Also Blondie, she's by my side and she is supervising my paint job. I actually only had to give the boxes one coat of paint because I wanted to see the grain of wood. I didn't want to hide the grain. There's like lovely texture in this box, so I didn't want to hide it. So I gave it one coat of paint and I allowed it to fully dry. I didn't paint the inside, which kind of looks a bit lazy, but I noticed that the lid was sticking when I had painted the top, so I didn't bother painting the inside. I probably should, but I didn't. To personalize my boxes and transform them into Christmas Eve boxes, I purchased stencils off Etsy. I'll pop a link to the seller that I purchased them from, and I got them to make me a Jack and a Lily stencil so that I could personalize each box. Now, I did have a little bit of trickiness with the stencils because I noticed that I was getting a bleed through. So this is what I did and how I stenciled it so that I didn't get much bleed. I decided to go for that darker kind of oxblood colour. I'll leave the details on that paint in the description. So I taped the stencil down using some frog tape. You can get spray adhesive, but I just taped it down, and then I used a roller with hardly any paint. So less is definitely more. It took me 3 attempts to get this right, and I messaged my friend Joanne and I was like, I am having stencil drama, and she suggested having a roller but with very little paint on it and building the colour up. So that's what I did. If you find you have made a mistake, which I did 3 times, I was able to wipe the paint off. So this was like a chalk paint tester pot that I used on the stencil. So I was able to wipe it off with a wet cloth and go again. So be patient, but my biggest tip is less paint is definitely more, and don't worry if your stencil is not perfect, because you'll see as I'm peeling off this Christmas Eve box stencil that not all of the letters are kind of filled in, so it kind of gives it like a rustic effect. So don't be hard on yourself, and I noticed the smaller the stencil and the more detail, the easier the bleed is, so don't be tempted to keep going over it like I did. But yeah, less is more. Take your time and don't be afraid to start over. I hope you like the little boxes. So I know what you're thinking, what will I put inside the Christmas Eve box? So for me, it's not about, you know, buying more things and like adding pressure on families, because like this year is gonna be tough for everybody, whether financially or emotionally. But for me, I think Christmas Eve is about memories and coziness. And in Ireland, especially if you're born in like the 80s, early 90s, you were poor. So you got new pyjamas, socks, you got a new duvet set if you're a proper posh. But you got them at key times of the year. Christmas was one of them. So you got like Christmas clothes, Christmas pyjamas, Easter, your birthday. So Christmas Eve, for me, is a brand new pair of pyjamas, fluffy socks, sweets, selection boxes, movies, watching all the Christmas movies on the TV, having a blankie, and it's about like just, it's more of a memory than an actual here's another box full of stuff, because Santa's gonna come on the 25th and there's gonna be enough presents. So I think it's about that pre-excitement energy. And yeah, I would have loved a little Christmas Eve box as a kid, but I kind of did have one. It just wasn't wrapped up in a cute little box. Now I'm gonna try not to get weepy. I'm doing my period, so hence the emotions. I actually got a little bit teary-eyed when I made the boxes. Oh, here I go. Blink it out, blink it out. I'm gonna blink it out because I spent time doing my makeup and I don't want to ruin it. You know what, we're nearly at the end of a 6-week lockdown in Ireland, and I think, you know, the emotions, they be getting us. But anyway, yeah, got me in the feels, because I'm like, this is going to be a cute little memory box for years to come. So what do you put inside one? Now you're going to die. Look how cute these are. I got matching pyjamas, so I don't have much product to show you because the non-essential retail shops are closed in Ireland and I didn't shop online, but I picked these up in the supermarket. They're Dunnes Stores, they're that brand, Lee Tucker. One for my niece, one for my nephew. I hope they fit. So brand new pyjamas. If they had these in my size, I totally would have bought a pair. So all the cozy stuff, pyjamas, slippers, new house coat, dressing gown. I say house coat. I think Dublin people say house coat and everyone else says dressing gown. It's a house coat. Fluffy socks, anything for the evening to get yourself super cozy. So then snacks, hot chocolate. So anything that you think the person will like their favourite snacks. So whether it's a certain type of biscuit, hot chocolate. If they're over 18, pop in some tins. Few bottles of Guinness in my Christmas Eve box, or like you could do a cocktail mix, so something to drink. So think tactile, what you're going to be wearing, drinking, eating, feeling. Another thing you can do is, if you don't want to be watching like movies and stuff, you can pop in a board game or like playing cards. I don't know what it is about Christmas, but like it would probably be the only time I'd sit around and playing, like, not poker but Snap. Playing cards. So I associate Christmas with playing cards. What are those ones that are really naughty? You definitely couldn't put it in a kid's one. The Cards Against Humanity? Yeah. Adults only. Depending on the child or adult, you could pop in a Christmas book if they like reading. But something I thought one might be cute and it would be a nice present would be maybe like a Disney Plus subscription or a Netflix. Like that could be like a present in itself, because it's like it'd be quite expensive. But like even if you got them a gift voucher for like the likes of, I know my niece and nephew are obsessed with like Disney Plus, or like Netflix or any of those kind of like subscription things. And if I love Audible, so maybe if you got like a gift card for like Audible, things like that. So something to nicely distract yourself from the excitement on Christmas Eve, but I think something that also gets the family involved, which is why I like the board games, the card games, and even watching a movie together as well. Let me see, I think that's everything kind of on my list, but depending on whoever the person is you're making it for, just think how would they like to feel when they open a box, and what can they do with what you put into it. So there's some tips. I hope you got some inspiration. This video is going up on my usual Thursday, but it's not any usual Thursday because it's Thanksgiving, and I know I have a lot of US guys who watch every week, and I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. I know it's probably not going to be the same this year, and When I look at the news, I'm like, God, the guys in the US, we've all had a hard time of it, but yous especially. So I really hope you do have a lovely Thanksgiving. So that is me for this week. Let me know if you're gonna have a shot at making a Christmas Eve box. I've gone all out fancy with a wooden box and personalisation. You can literally just get a basket, a cardboard box, anything. You don't have to go to the kind of finesse of me. I was just being fancy and making something that would last for years to come. Enough waffling. I will see you all in next week's video. Bye.